it's kind of hidden. The architecture of life is kind of odd in that sense, is that I can't see what you see from being you. I don't know how to do that. Maybe somebody can, you know, cosmic dude. But I'm not capable of that. But I can believe that you are. I can believe that that soulful nature, that being, that awareness, that I can pick up on that. I can believe that. It has to be true that you are.
I believe it is, but I think it's so hard for people to get there.
Yeah.
Because of those established perceptions. We're not ourselves.
No.
We don't listen without judgment.
No, we
automatically.
don't. No, we don't. We should. Yeah. In our workshops, you're told. You sit there, be open to what they say, and if you find yourself evaluating value, putting a value judgment on it, good, bad, that was a smart response, that was stupid, any of those, just cut that off. And just be open, be like pure awareness, receptive. It's like the totally receptive state.
So powerful.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then we say, tell me who you are, and I'm going to be here completely open to whatever comes up as a result of you trying to respond to that instruction, without clinging to it at all, letting it go. Because I know it's in a kind of an intermediate, because it's a process that we're doing in the workshop. So I'd say, tell me who you are, and you'd give it your best shot this time. But it's totally open. Sometimes it doesn't come about you at all. It come up, you know, what comes out is not about you at all. It's about something else that came up for you, a feeling or something, or maybe that is about you. But as that's being resolved, I'm just open. And when you're done, I just say thank you. And it's not a thank you like you've been really great, and it's not a thank you like you've screwed it up. It's just, got it. And that generates this context of like trust and openness somehow, because they don't react. The other person who's answering doesn't try to create an effect on the listener, you know? Instead of just speaking the truth, they're trying to create an effect. They're trying to impress. They're trying to put
validate and justify who they are.
Yeah, yeah. And so the other person, if they don't react, then they just say thank you. It feels like, well, that didn't work. And you let it go a little bit.
Edward, do you believe in heaven and hell?
Well, you mean like a place like behind the clouds and a place down under the earth, like the images?
Well, that's
I don't get
kind of
that.
what we're taught, isn't it? That if you're good, you're going to go to heaven and you get to hang out in the clouds, and if you're bad, you're going to burn and be really uncomfortable.
I guess I get it sort of like in real time. It's like every day of your life is your heaven and your hell. I think that's really important. How you treat others is the key to it all. If you can just treat others well, you move toward that heaven side of things. If you treat people bad in your own estimation, then you go towards the hell part of it.
It's kind of...
Even justified, even when things are justified, like you can really whack them because it's justified. It doesn't even work if you just treat them well.
Well, there's a lot of justification for inappropriate behavior and ripping people off, and again, defined by what's successful, how some people feel entitled. I think sometimes people's quest to have more and be more, yes, they want to be more connected to people, but they also want to be better than others. That they don't know how to get to that point of acceptance in themselves, that they need all this outside acceptance.
Somehow, somebody wanting to be better than another person makes me think that they don't think they're good enough.
I think that's really what it is, but it's a strange paradox.
So what you do is you get over not feeling that you're not good enough by finding out who you really are. Because it turns out everybody is good enough.
I believe so. I believe
What they
everyone
really
is
are.
equal, really.
Yeah.
If you're alive and on the planet, then you're entitled to live.
Of course. There was this interesting thing. It was like a creation myth, which was really at the basis of a lot of the way I perceive things. and it was that like there's sort of an in the beginning kind of scenario. It's a story. You know, a myth is not necessarily, there's two kinds of myths, right? One is, oh, it's a myth, which means it isn't true. You know, it's just a myth. But the other kind of myth is like a story that kind of gives meaning to something or explains something that's kind of hard to get a grasp on. And so this myth was that in the beginning there was nothing, sort of like before the Big Bang. So there's no time and there was no space and there was no matter and there was nothing going on. But there was something that could be. Something really simple, and the initial thing was the thought, is there another?
Oh, after there could be something.
It's even before anything, the very first thing ever, like in eternity, was, is there someone else? And that other is somehow hidden from us.
Isn't that God?
Yeah.
The divine? The mystery?
Coming out as all these individuals that you can connect with. Like it's this field of individuals. There's this one, and there's this other one, and this other one. And they all have the same nature. So they all manifest as this unique one, this unique individuals. But that they're all together, there's this God, is the whole event, the whole of everything. So that's the myth, that what this story is, and this interaction that's going on here is that in a nutshell, sort of. So we're finding out about each other. There's an interview, right? There's an interview. And I'm showing you me, and you're showing me you. You know, the word personality comes from the word in Greek that means a mask.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So you think of this personality that you have, this one that you are presenting yourself as, is really the mask. And if you, what's the who are you that is behind that mask? And that's the target for your enlightenment quest, is the one that's at the heart of that, the heart of who you really are. You know, it's the one you really, really are. You put a lot of reallys on there. You say really, really, really are. And that's, most of us can't get it just by, in a moment. It takes a process. Some can, some just, they just become spontaneously enlightened.
Well, some of us don't want to let go of what we think these things mean, because that's the context we've created to be able to function in the world.
Got it.
And those fall down, and then we're lost. And if we feel weak, then we start freaking out, because we can't be weak. We can't not know.
Yeah. But I'm pretty good at not knowing.
I think it's okay to not know.
I think it better be.
There's a lot of knowing in not knowing.
Yes.
And freedom.
Yeah, it better be okay to not know. I mean, it should be okay to not know, right? It should be okay to...
So many people have to be right. They have to know everything.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want to know everything? It's too much responsibility.
And there's so much about how we handle our relationships by, like, knowing something, so now we're on top, right? And dominating others and escaping domination, and all those kinds of games that we play with each other in order to be somebody with them, be a something that can impress them, that they can be open to. And, there's a reality to it that if you're bland, they're not going to pay attention to you. It's really true. So it's ignorance on both sides, you know what I'm saying? It's a condition that we are doing together. It makes sense that we're treating each other the way we are, because that's the way, that's that's the way we are with each other. I mean,